The administrative theory of the 14 principles of management is given by the famous management scientist Henry Fayol. These principles are the underlying factors for successful management and were published in the book General and Industrial Management in 1916. The first principle of management is division of work, which is also known as specialization. In practice, employees are specialized in different areas and they have different skills. According to Henry Fayol, specialization promotes efficiency of the workforce and increases productivity. In addition, the specialization of the workforce increases their accuracy and speed. This management principle of the 14 principles of management is applicable to both technical and managerial activities. The second principle is authority and responsibility. In order to get things done in an organization, management has the authority to give orders to the employees. Of course, with this authority comes responsibility. According to Henry Fayol, the accompanying power or authority gives the management the right to give orders to the subordinates. In other words, authority and responsibility go together and they are the two sides of the same coin. The third principle is discipline. This principle is all about obedience. It is often a part of the core values of a mission and vision in the form of good conduct and respectful interactions. This management principle is essential and is seen as the oil to make the engine of the organization run smoothly. Unity of command. Unity of command means that an individual employee should receive orders from one manager and that the employee is answerable to that manager. If tasks and related responsibilities are given to the employee by more than one manager, this may lead to confusion, which may lead to possible conflicts for employees. By using this principle, the responsibility for mistakes can be established more easily. Next is unity of direction. This management principle is all about focus and unity. All employees deliver the same activities that can be linked to the same objectives. All activities must be carried out by one group that forms a team. These activities must be described in a plan of action, and the manager is ultimately responsible for this plan and he monitors the progress of the defined and planned activities. Subordination of individual interest. There are always all kinds of interests in an organization. In order to have an organization function well, Henry Fayol indicated that personal interests are subordinate to the interests of the organization. The primary focus is on the organizational objectives and not on those of the individual. This applies to all levels of the entire organization, including the managers. Remuneration. Motivation and productivity are close to one another as far as the smooth running of an organization is concerned. It argues that the remuneration should be sufficient to keep employees motivated and productive. There are two types of remuneration, namely non-monetary and monetary. The examples for non-monetary remuneration are a compliment, more responsibilities, credits, etc. And the examples for monetary remuneration, compensation, bonus, financial benefits, etc. Ultimately, it is about rewarding the efforts that have been made. The next principle is degree of centralization. Management and authority for decision-making process must be properly balanced in an organization. This depends on the volume and the size of an organization, including its hierarchy. Centralization implies the concentration of decision-making authority at the top management. Sharing of authorities for the decision-making process with lower levels is referred to as decentralization. Henry Fayol indicated that an organization should strive for a good balance between centralization and decentralization. The next principle of management is scalar chain. Hierarchy presents itself in any given organization. This varies from senior management to the lowest levels in the organization. This principle states that there should be a clear line in the area of authority from the top level of management to the bottom level and all managers at all levels. Each employee can contact a manager or a superior in an emergency situation without challenging the hierarchy, which is also known as gangplank, and which is explained in the diagram in the slide here. And gangplank is denoted by the 2 points D and G. Order. Employees in an organization must have the right resources at their disposal so that they can function properly in an organization. In addition to the social order, which is the employees and the people working in the organization, the work environment must be safe, clean, and tidy. It is also very rightly said, a place for everything and everything in its place, which means physical order, and a place for everyone and everyone in its place, which means social order. The next principle is equity. The management principle of equity often occurs in the core values of an organization. According to Henry Fayol, employees must be treated kindly and equally. Employees must be in the right place in the organization to do things right. Managers should supervise and monitor this process, and they should treat employees fairly and impartially. The next principle is stability of tenure of personnel. This management principle represents deployment and managing of personnel, and this should be in balance with the service that is provided from the organization. Management strives to minimize employee turnover and to have the right staff in the right place. Focus areas such as frequent change of position and sufficient development must be managed well. Initiative. Henry Fayol argued that with this management principle, employees should be allowed to express new ideas. This encourages interest and involvement and creates added value for the company. Employee initiatives are a source of strength for the organization, according to Henry Fayol. This encourages the employees to be involved and interested. The next principle is esprit de corps. The management principle esprit de corps of the 14 principles of management stands for striving for the involvement and unity of the employees. Managers are responsible for the development of morale in the workplace, individually and in the area of communication. Esprit de corps contributes to the development of the culture and creates an atmosphere of mutual trust and understanding. So they were the 14 principles of management by Henry Fayol. If you like the contents of this page, please like and subscribe. Thank you.